the obvious. You got a global audience. You have an ability to, especially in this. I won't take credit for this, but I heard this online. We're moving away from social media to interest media. I think, like I said, here politics is my passion project, but I get paid. I'm a managing partner at a firm called Hughes Strategies, where we focus on digital first solutions for companies, orgs, and campaigns. And one of the things that we're consulting our clients on now is that the toll rolls are up on social media. So things to be just organic or just because you got a ton of followers and all those things doesn't mean it's necessarily going to hit, as opposed to it's of interest. So I think social media, as it moves away from social and just who people know more into interest, I think with music and even climate, like there are people who have interest in this issue or may have interest in an artist that intersects with the issue. I think this is actually the time to double down on that. Stop worrying about your follower count on any one platform and really start leaning into really high level creative, really high level messaging. I would challenge any organization here, 10x. Often people are looking for, like, I need it to be curated on my page, and so I'm only going to put out 1, 2. If you're not posting 3 to 7 pieces of content per platform per day as an organization that hopes to break through, you're doing yourself a disservice, especially if you're not really putting money behind to pay it and boost it. So I think that's the opportunity. You have a global audience and there's an interest. The disadvantage to that is that we've got shorter attention spans. We can dilute a message. The complexity of what climate is can sometimes be lost. And I don't know if we can change that, but that means that we're going to have to be more creative on how to give people maybe certain stories and tell stories in a more creative way, in shorter ways, or string stories together. But then I think that goes back to the same thing. You got to put more of it out because less of it will be consumed the way people's minds and our attention spans work.
It's not cool. Mm-hmm. It's not cool. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're not messing with it for real, for real. Mm-hmm. Somebody or something or creators have to make it cool in some type of way where it don't seem like, because another thing about the internet is it's our getaway from the stressors of the world. Mm-hmm. It's a place to watch and be funny. The moment somebody literally starts talking about climate change and God, half the time they just, I need something funny, I need something entertaining to get me away from this. So something has to happen where we make it cool and we make it creative and fun and even, maybe even a little funny.
No, I think a lot of funny, right? I recently, shameless plug here, I recently worked with the people at UC Boulder on their 10-year anniversary of Stand Up for Climate Comedy. And they do this comedy showcase. They've been doing it 10 years. Hip Hop Caucus a few years ago produced a climate comedy special called Ain't Your Mama's Heat Wave. And we have done animated shorts where we hired BIPOC comedy writers to write and to voice those. So we have always tried to counter the doom and gloom of this with doing what Black and brown people know how to do, is to find the humor in the thing. And it's often as a means of survival. I connected with some comedy writers here, Crystal with the C from NYU and some others, but I think that there's an opportunity for, and that you all have talked about this because I know I've talked with Allison and Anna Jane and others about it, but the opportunity for more comedy in the climate crisis. And I know we talk about it being jargony and being complex, but it's not. These are everyday issues. People are affected in very real ways. And I think that sometimes the way we talk about it, or the way that climate is talked about, is intentional gatekeeping. Is to make it seem like this conversation is not for you because there are people who are profiting from talking at this level about it. So that's my soapbox on that. But moving on, we've seen how shows like Insecure, Black Panther, use soundtracks to set emotional tone and cultural relevance. How can music and TV and film serve as a mobilizing force for audiences?
It normalizes. It normalizes. I mean, think about, and I love what Hollywood did this. They took smoking. You smoked everywhere back in the day, and then it helped normalizes, socialize the behavior. You equate some of the biggest people you see on screen, or on a big movie screen or small screen. Think about, I would say that in a negative way, but when there was a pullback on that intentionally, as we look to fight smoking, those rates went down. I think there's a huge opportunity across every genre of entertainment, music and stuff on the screen, audio podcasts. Like, people need to hear about these, like you said, the complexity issues, but in a simple way, or in a more personal way, and connected to stories that people can then see themselves in or hear themselves in, to be able to, like, oh, I can understand this now. So when we do hit you with the this is happening, you've already been the pump has been primed.
I like that. Good idea. No, that literally makes me think, because you're right. Like with the smoking ads and the got milk.
Yeah.
Lord, damn well, that milk wasn't good for us like that.
Shout out Oakley.
Baby, they was spreading that milk and spreading that cigarette too, as if it's cool. So if you have a Rihanna, like, just like, you know, you need to recycle more. You know, I don't know. You know, making it cool. You know, making more celebrities talk about it more. It does normalize it. It makes it regular. It makes somebody think twice about littering, or about even things that you need to grow more plants. I don't know, things like that. You know, things that actually one little seed at a time, changing your whole family dynamic. Changing a friend, changing the world. It always starts with one person. But if we're making it a campaign like that, that really helps it mobilize and help it move and make it normal, like you say, for real.
One piece of free game in here, I would say, is attach yourself to the soundtracks. Because I know when budgets come out, it usually happens in these election years, and that's when all the donors come in, and we're trying to get this message out and so forth. Being out here in Hollywood, you kind of have a foresight of what's coming down the road. Imagine if you'd have had the right artists on the center soundtrack with a right song around climate or so forth, because we've seen socially conscious music do well.
Was a sustainably produced set.
Set.
Had awards for that, so they could have threw a song on them.
And if you'd have bought I'm pretty sure you could have worked out a deal and had a song that would, by an impactful artist at a time, and you hit that cultural zeitgeist at the same moment. Because we've seen in rap, Little Baby has a socially conscious song that gets a Grammy Award winner. We've seen F Donald Trump by Nipsey and YG go platinum. Like, I mean, all across, and that's just again in the world of hip hop. That goes across the board. So I think there's an opportunity to have a little more foresight and be a little more creative with the partnerships you make as content is coming out even at the highest level, especially here in Hollywood.
For sure.